Okay, thanks for coming back to watch the second video about graphing and ace the test coming up. So we're going to do 11 and then 13 and 15 more likely there. So number 11, let's see here. So they give us an amp of a -1/2. That's pretty crazy. The period is just sine of x. There's no number in there for b. So that means that b is equal to 1. So 2 pi over b, which is just 1. So just 2 pi by amp. And then our midline shift there is the whole thing, including the new x-axis of +3, shifting up 3. And so let's see here. So that means that first, remember the period, then the amp, and then the midline. Good. Okay, so first is the period. So the period here, let's see, is going to be 2 pi. So we're going to cut this into 4 sections. And so here's 2 pi. Half of 2 pi, half of that is just 1 pi, and half of that is just half a pi. So 1 pi over 2, that's actually 2 pi over 2, then 3 pi over 2, then 4 pi over 2. Oh, and 4 divided by 2 is just 2 pi. So good. Okay, so the period is done. So the amp, so we're doing sine, so we're going to have to use our famous 5 numbers for sine, which if you remember sine, it is 0, 1, 0, -1, 0, right? So we're going to go ahead and use 0, 1, 0, -1, 0. First, we're going to apply the amp by timesing everything by a -1/2. So times it by -1/2, times it by -1/2. So 0 times -1/2 is just 0. 1 times -1/2 is -1/2. 0 times -1/2 is 0 again. -1 times -1/2, negative times negative is a +1/2, and then 0. Ooh, so that's going to like flip it, right? It's going to go 0, then down -1/2, 0, 1/2, 0. So it's actually going to flip and change our sine graph there. Now we do need to change the midline too. We're going to get a new x-axis at 3 above all these things. So we are going to have to midline it. We're going to have to add 3 to every single one like this. And so when we do that, we get 3. 3 minus 1/2 is 2.5. And then 3. And then, I forgot 2.5, yeah. And then 3 plus 1/2 is 3.5, and then 3 again. So we have 5 y values there to graph. And so that means at 0, 0, we're going to start off at 3. So here's our x-axis, and we're going to have a new x-axis at 1, 2, 3. So that's our first point. Pardon me. So then, so that's 0. The next one is 2.5 next. So we're going to go over 2. So here's, so we're going to go, let's see here. So we're going to go down to 2.5. Wow, that's kind of small. So in between the 3 and the 2, so right about there. Then we're going to go down to back up to 3, it says. At pi, we'll go back up to 3. And then at 3 pi over 2, we'll go up to 3. 3. So 3 and a bit more, so a little bit higher than that. There you go. And then back down to 3. So this is kind of a crazy cool graph. So it just goes down, up, and down again. Really thin, small graph for number 11. So try number 12 now with cosine. So just to kind of give you an idea of what this would do without even really going into detail. So your cosine is going to go 2 times as big. However, it is going to shift down. It is going to shift down 4. So it's going to be like down 1, 2, 3, 4. So your graph should be down there somewhere. Okay, but we'll let you try that one. Okay, so now identify the amplitude, period, and midline, and then write the equation for the function using sine of x. So that's a key there. First of all, they did tell us that it's sine of x for number 15, and for number 14, parent function sine of x. That's vital. That's vital to know that, so they got to tell us that. Okay, so with number 13, it's not too bad. What you need to do is usually identify the midline first and then the amp. So going out of a different order there. And so you can put your pencil on your paper and just try to find the halfway point. That's what midline means. So that doesn't seem to cut it in half. But that one, yeah, it looks like it's pretty good there at the midline. So that looks like at about -1 for the midline, -1. And then the amps is the distance how far up and how far down, and they should be the same number if you found the midline correctly. So in our case, that's 2 is the amp because it's going down 2 down, as well as 1, 2 up. So that means that the amp is 2. Now the period is how far it goes. We'll have to look at this -2 pi and this pi to determine. It's kind of hard to see that that's pi and this is 2 pi. Good. Now you're looking for one full cycle. That's known as the period. So this one full cycle, let's see. So this one full cycle, it starts here, 0. Just to make it simple, we'll always start at 0 because we're not doing phase shifts yet. And so it'll go down, okay, and then up, and then down, and then it's about to, right there, it's about to repeat, isn't it? It's about to go down again, and then up again. Okay, so number 13, one full cycle is there at pi. Because it goes down, up, and where it's about to repeat, that's where your cycle ends. And so your period then is pi for number 13. Cool, so now that you've filled that out, then you can just do the equation, write the equation. And so how we find the equation is f of x is equal to, and so the amp goes on the outside, the amp goes first, so we got 2. They tell us from the original problem that the parent function, again, 13 and 14, it was sine. It is sine, so that's the parent function we're going to use for this. So 2 sine, because the parent function they tell us is sine. Then I am going to put a parentheses with the x there and a blank, because that's kind of the hardest one to find. Using the period, we'll find that b value. It's also known as your b value. And then you got to put your midline. So then your midline goes at the end, so -1. Cool. So now we just need to find our b value, and then we're done. So the b value, definitely, the b value comes from the period there. Okay. So we're going to take our period, which is pi, is our period. Now there's also a formula for period, right? And so the formula for period, let's go and swap this around. We'll put pi on the other side. Not that that matters too much. But so we have pi is equal to the period. No, I just did that, Nubo. Period is equal to pi is what we found by looking at it graphically. Now the formula for period, formulae, formula is 2 pi, because sine and cosine are always 2 pi, over b, over that b value. Okay, so now we're going to, so the period becomes 2 pi over b. And we already know the period, it is pi. Cool. And so again, that pi came from over here, remember? Yeah, so here's our pi, and there it is. Okay, so there's our pi. So now I want to solve for b. So we're going to switch our Uzi, right? We're going to times by b to the other side. So the b goes away on this side. And then we're going to divide by pi down to here. So now we have b. So this goes away. So now we just have b is equal to 2 pi over pi. Well, the pi's cancel, so b is just equal to 2. Cool. So then your b value, we're going to put that in there, is just 2. And so now we have the formula and our answer. It's 2 sine 2x minus 1. 2 sine 2x minus 1. Cool. So there's number 13. Excellent. Except for I did notice something else, and I don't know if you noticed it. I did notice that sine does go up and then down and then up again with a, so this one has a midline of just 1, doesn't it? Midline of just 1. But I did notice here that we actually start by going down. Does that mean something? It does mean something. It actually means that this function is negative. Oh. So this is negative because we go down we go down first instead of up first, right? We went down first. Because sine, regular sine, goes up, then down, then up again. Yeah, it goes up first. Okay, so we are going to say that this is actually a negative 2 sine 2x minus 1. Cool. So excelente, excelente is the parent function. Let's see, number 15 says sine again, so that's not right. Let's try to find a cosine. Here's a cosine, number 17. Fix this one with 2 pi, man. I don't think I fixed that yet, so I do apologize for the period on these. So we should probably just like write periods on there, right? Yeah. A pi is 8 pi, 2 pi, 4 pi. So sorry I didn't fix that on the worksheet yet. I still need to do that. Just keep running out of time. Okay, so now this time we're going to do cosine of 18 and 18, 19 and 20. So cosine goes up, starts high, and then down, and then high again. So it starts up here and finishes there. Cool. So we can already see where our period is, right? Because it goes down, and then up, and then it's going to repeat again. But so it actually finishes there, is where our one cycle is. At what? 8 pi. Good. So here's our period, 8 pi. So that means the period for this guy, it's really 3. 2 pi over 3. 3 pi over 3 pi over 3. Ooh, that's really strange, huh? Yeah, so it must be going by pi's over 3. Psycho. 1 pi over 3. Yeah, that's what it is. 2 pi over 3. 3 pi over 3. Okay, so sorry about that. Yeah, so your period is actually 2 pi over 3 for number 18. Whew, crazy. But back to number 17. Okay, so we have 8 pi is our period, one full cycle. Now we've got to find our midline. So try to find our halfway mark. So use your finger, use your pencil. See how this marking is there? Use your pencil and run along the graph. Does that look halfway? No. Ooh, right there. Is that halfway? Well, let's see. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, but it's not even. So let's move up one more. There you go, because now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Use your pencil. 3, 4. Good. So there's a bunch of, so that means halfway is right there. So that's our midline. And our midline is at 1. Is our midline, so we'll put a 1 there. And then we counted our amp, right? 4 above and 4 below, so 4 is. And that means we can come up with our equation now. So f of x is equal to the amp, which is 4. It tells cosine, so 4 cosine. Not sure about that b value. We'll draw a blank there and then put x and fill in that b value in a second. And then the midline's up 1. So that b value, again, you have to use the formula for period. So 2 pi over b is equal to period. And then you're going to have to replace 8 pi and place a period. So 2 pi over b is equal to the period that we found on the graph, which is 8 pi. And then we're just going to switch a roozy. The 8 pi goes down here, and the b goes up here. Because we multiply b to both sides, and then we divide 8 pi to both sides. Now the pi's cancel, leaving us with 2 over 8. And so our b value, 2 over 8, just reduces to 1/4. Nice. So that's going to be 1/4 x. Bam. So there's our b value there, 1/4 x. And there's your answer to number 17. Good job. So try on a few more of those. You can tell the amp here is, oh, cool, we have a center midline of 0. We have an amp of up 2 and down 2, so 2. And so that means the function, a little bit trickier, but you'll get it. That means the function is 2. Remember they tell us the parent function is cosine. That's vital. So 2 cosine, we're not sure about the b yet, x, and then plus the midline, so just plus 0. Or you can erase that and put nothing for the midline there. Now to find the period, again, you set it equal. 2 pi over 3 is the period, and you set that equal to the formula. So that's 2 pi divided by b. Good. Now we are going to cross multiply on this one. So then the b goes over here. So we're going to multiply b to both sides. And then we'll multiply 3 to both, so the 3 goes there. And then we will have to divide by 2 there. Woo! Oh, divide by 2 pi there. Sorry, divide by 2 pi. So now the 2 pi's cancel, and what are we left with there? Well, we're left with the b. Still have the b there. That didn't cancel. So b is equal to, and just what's left? Just the 3. So b is equal to 3. So we're going to put the 3 right there. Bam! So that's number 18 done for you as well. So go ahead and try and don't just try, do. You got this. There's no try, only do. So make sure that you do these problems, and you'll get it. You'll get this. Remember, midline there looks like at about -2 is the halfway mark there. Looks like the amp is just 1, so you're okay. You got this. Over here, the midline looks like it's up at about 3. And then it looks like a distance of 2. No, it looks like a distance of just 1, right? If this is 3. So 1 and 1. Yeah, so you got a midline of 3 and a amp of just 1. Just to try to help you out on a few more of those. Good. You'll get this. You'll get this. Okay? If you don't see a pi there, then just stick a pi on there. So 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. Cool. All right, excelente. Beautiful. So thank you so much for watching this video, and finish all these other problems and get ready for the test. You got this one. Make sure to put pi on there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace out, brother and sister. Bye for now.